All right, so, Jim, I'll grab it. So, maybe get a circle here, probably. So today we're going to build off of what we worked on Monday. So I'll do a quick little bit of review of that. I did a video on Facebook. Is that Facebook, John? I'll talk to you. We have a little chat group that we update stuff, and I post the technical videos on. So
Yeah,
you want? Cool. Yeah, you can go back and watch all the starting from. I guess when did I start doing that? I think like the side control stuff.
Yeah.
So starting from like the whole last semester, I have all those techniques up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. Man. But anyway, I'm sorry. So today we're going to kind of review a little bit of Monday and then move forward. But I also want to start introducing what I would call like the conceptual underpinning of this whole semester, right? We talked a little bit about this in the bottom side control escape semester, and it kind of keeps coming up, which is this idea of trapping your opponent on a binary track, meaning that they can do one thing that will be effective at stopping a certain movement, but it will lead them directly towards a different one. And if they defend that one, the way that they'll likely defend it will prevent that other thing, but will lead them back to the first one. Okay? And that started all the way from even the very beginning of the stuff we did on Monday. So let me give you my card. Yeah. So we started out, Jimmy's sitting on his heels, he's got posture, it'll say his hands are on my body, okay? If you've ever rolled with anybody and you've gotten into the closed guard, you're underneath, this can be a really frustrating situation. If they're postured up and they're hard to break down, like, say Jim, don't let me break you down, you're just focused 100% on not letting me break you down. I'm like, trying to pull in, trying to move his arms, trying to get his collar, but he's like 20 feet away, Jim's real tall, so I'm like, I can't do shit. It's terrible, right? But here's the thing about it, is that as long as I don't let Jimmy get my sleeves, and as long as I don't let him get away with stupid stuff, which we'll talk about in a second, he can't really do anything either. Like, the closed guard is sort of this weird Mexican standoff of a position where my movements are going to be the thing that are likely going to facilitate him being able to pass, and his movements are going to be the thing that are likely going to facilitate my ability to break his posture and sweep. So, with the additional note added there of unless you let stupid shit happen. If you let stupid shit happen, then anything can happen, right? So, for example, if I were to tell Jimmy, I'm going to put my hands over my head and I'm going to sit here and I would tell Jimmy, without moving your hips, get out of my guard. Like, what would you do, right? Maybe, a lot of people, they'll just like push on my knee, right? And that would be categorized as stupid shit, right? Like, just pushing my knee, that shouldn't work. Which is why, again, if I just push my feet to the floor, try to push my knee down, like, you could do that all day. That's not going to work. Not to mention, without even getting into counters. If he does that, and I'm wise to that, boom, we're right there. So if I know how to protect stupid shit by putting my feet to the floor, then stupid shit won't work. And if he doesn't move his hips, and he can't get my sleeves, nothing can happen. So what are his options? What does he have left? Yeah, right, he has to come forward, he has to move his body, he has to move his base. So once he starts moving his hips, it's easy to break down, right? It's like, if I were to get out of here, and Jim just sits real stable for a second, don't let me move you. Alright, bring your hips forward. Right? A very simple principle, like if his hips come off of his base, he's easy to move. If his hips stay back, he's hard to move. It's going to become really important in a minute for the technical thing. So, also, just use this as an excuse to push people. Like, why do you always shove people? Push. So anyway, I broke him down, right? He starts trying to pass, break him down, right? If his hands go to the mat, I have these overhook options. So let's say his hands don't go to the mat, right? They end up on my body. This is really common. Let me have you sit back, right? So, yep. So we end up in called marsupial, right? I hook the back of the head. On Monday, we worked here to that 45-degree guard. My foot goes on the hip. I'm going to do like a bit of a kind of angle turn. And sometimes too, it's like, it might just be as much of a hip escape as it is a rotation. But my goal is to get this guard up high. Once I get here, right, I punch under the leg, I kick the armpit, and let's say you don't want to get swept, I get the armbar, right? Now, that actually leads us right into our next move though, right? So we have our armbar. I mean, again, these are all set up. Other people set these up differently. You might just break the posture, get here, and we end up in the same basic situation. But we run into a problem, and if you guys recall on Monday, I demoed it with you for a little bit, and I asked you to not let me get the leg over your face, right? And this is a situation that will happen. I get here, I'm underhooking the leg, right? I'm trying to get my leg over the face, don't let me have that happen. Right? Now, if you put your arm over there,
That's a big problem.
that's a big problem. But like, all you have to do, right? You're just gonna drive forward, right? Yeah. Okay. So how am I gonna accommodate for that? Well, what did we just illustrate, right? So you sit back down. If his hips are low and settled into base, it's really hard for me to move him. Yeah. Once his hips come off of his base, he's really easy to move. Yeah. So if I have this arm bar, boom. Let's say I'm here. I underhook the leg. I start going for the arm bar. You start driving forward to block the thing. The sweep is right there, right? So now all that means is we just need mechanics. We just need to understand technically how to execute it. We now know conceptually though what has to happen. So basic just movement, and I'll just start from the arm bar here. I have the underhook of the leg. I have the arm across. I was hugging the wrist. When I decide to switch gears, you just think I was like, I'm going to hug over the back and catch the armpit. Okay, I'm going to kick this leg hard into his armpit and chop this leg down to his knees. So I should sort of think about trying to make his shoulder plant on the floor. You guys see that? Boom. As I do that, I just come up with him. I get my top position. So again, just the basic mechanics. I am here in the arm bar. I'm going for it. He's driving his head forward to not get arm barred. So I catch, and I take him over. Another thing you can play around with, if you don't feel like it's quite there, like it's like halfway there, maybe you committed to the sweep, but right a little bit early. But here, I'm trying to go, and he's like a little bit heavy, is if this leg just whips like a helicopter blade, you can pretty much usually flip them over from there once you get to that station. You want to see that thing? Yeah. Okay. So, again, we're in the guard. We'll just go right to that situation. So I have the arm across the chest. I have the underhook to the leg. But again, I'm trying to get this leg over the face, and he's driving his body forward to not let that happen. So, I'm going to kick him in, like, I went from the wrist to the back, and kicking up to the armpit, chopping out of the feet, and then scissoring that foot behind me so that I don't roll over my own ankle. That make sense, guys? Yes. Excellent. You guys work as a trio. Alright, let's get to it. 1, 2, 3.